and I will create a new initiative. We call them initiatives for the moment. And as an example, I will call it dig up. You can or not create a token. Okay. And basically what you have when you create an initiative is that you can, so I will show you the way we propose to organize conversations and information. And then I will talk about how we want to extend this for handling version controls systems. So you create an initiative and you have like a top level channel. Think of it as an empty Slack and an empty room to talk. And what you can do is you can create, for the moment they are called subsections, but these are like channels in Slack. So maybe from the experience we had on the DigOff, we could select, for instance, the tool, digital tools or something, or digital tools. So that we can say, okay, here we are going to talk about digital tools, okay? And then this is a step beyond Telegram, because we are now having the space for a specific topic. And now here we can talk about stuff. So I think Discord or Discourse or whatever would work. Okay, so you can comment and then it's a chat box. The thing is that because this is a sub-channel or a subsection of DigOff, the Telegram group, which includes all the conversation at the same time, which is what is happening now, it still remains, because you can hear everything from a place, because it aggregates all the messages. But if you want to only hear the conversation about a subject, you can hear it. And then what you can do is that for each channel, you can add content, and this content is different from messages. So these messages are intended to be forgotten, while content in the form of cards are intended to remain. So these are like pinned messages, but you can have more than one. And actually they can be ordered, so they can become a structured piece of content. And they could also be seen like a Trello board, in the sense that they are organized as cards. And so you can say here, I propose discourse, some data about discourse. I can propose Discord. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what were the other ones, but also Slack, and of course CollectiveOne.
I had a question before you go ahead.
Yes.
You said that the conversations can disappear, but what you're doing right now, these would not disappear. So what do you mean disappear and not disappear? Like
Yeah, but
automatically or archived or
no, lost in time, lost in the timeline. Like what happens with messages in a chat, they are lost in the timeline most of the times. So if you type something in a Telegram group or in a Slack in a big channel, you know that it is intended to be forgotten in a way. I mean, people won't go back in time for 2 weeks ago what somebody said.
So you don't mean that it's actually deleted, you just mean that practically speaking, people don't go back there.
Yes, exactly. And this changes your mind when you are when you're sending a message, you know that this is information that is not so relevant for others to recall, because it's maybe a comment about something, or it's information that is like I call it meta information. So you are talking about maybe a card or something, but it's not the proposal itself. It's maybe you say, I like that, I like this. So you don't create a card to say that you like something. You send a message about it. And so I'm mixing two things here. So one thing is that messages, because they are ordered in time, they can be, if you have many of them, they can be lost, while cards are intended to remain. And the other thing is that messages are like meta comments, and cards are more structured comments or more structured information. So this is one of the bets of CollectiveOne, is to separate between these two types of information. Go on.
So in that case, the way you go to the cards is a separate tab, right? So which means that it's one thing I'm seeing is more searchable, And a parallel I would draw is, for them in Slack, what I used to sometimes, like on Telegram or these things, you can have forget what you call those, like you can have a message that you can stick it to the top.
Pinned items, yeah.
Yeah, pinned items. So it's like pinned items, and you can have multiple pinned items. So, okay.
Exactly. These are like pinned items, but they actually are content. You could actually, they could start as pinned items for tasks, proposals, but they could also become pinned items for definitions of items, because you can add here significantly big portions of text. I can show you other examples. For instance, I can show you how I am using this to define the protocol itself. So if you go to the protocol, you can have the overview of the protocol, and these are like more or less big portions of text, and it has subsections. So you can see this as cards, but also as a document, and actually you can include the subsections of this document, and you'll have a sort of a big document. So a big amount of data, and it is still a communication channel. Okay. So just to mention that, I was here in this example. So let's try to keep things simple for the moment. So you can create chats, like chat and nest them, and then you can create cards on them, and then you can use these cards as anchor points for conversation. So maybe you can say somebody will react probably to Slack, and they will say, please Slack not, because this is what somebody said, because this, no. Okay. And the thing about CollectiveOne, our proposal, is that even though I commented in this card, this is considered a comment in the channel digital tools, because the card is there, and so I can follow the conversation from the digital tools chat channel, and I can say somebody. Imagine I am somebody. I can respond there from here by clicking on the message I want to reply, and so I'm having this conversation on the Slack card. So cards are sort of a subsection also. And still you have all the conversations in the single group if you really want to go and see everything, that you can divide them. Okay, so this would be this is an example of how the conversation about the selection of the tools could be like organized, and you could give some structure to it if you want with this tool.